What happens when you ghost the court for 2 years? This defendant thought he could just disappear to Georgia, forget about his charges, and move on with his life. Big mistake. Today, he's about to learn that you can't run from the law, and this judge is not impressed. Let's watch this unfold.
Okay, Mr. Bell, please remove your hood.
Which one? Did it say something last?
All right, we're on the record in the matter of the City of Wyandotte versus Christopher Bell, 232179. And appearance, counsel?
Morning, Honor. Neil DeBloy here on behalf of Christopher Bell, appears via Zoom from the lockup. Mr. Bell, can you hear us? Please state your name, sir.
Christopher Bell.
All right, thank you. And today is the date scheduled for the arraignment, as your client is in custody. Since he had blown us off for a couple of years, somehow he's now in custody. So, as to the arraignment, counsel.
Yes, my client waives the formal reading, stands muted to the charge.
Court will waive the formal reading, enter plea of not guilty for purposes of the arraignment, schedule this matter for pretrial on January 21st.
$10:15.
10:15 a.m. And counsel as to bond.
Yes, Your Honor, as the bond, Mr. Bell is currently residing in the city of Taylor. He is gainfully employed with a company called Lenmar, if I got that right. And that's located in Southfield. He advises that he's not on probation or parole anywhere. He was correct. He was in why he began this case from 2023. He indicates in his defense that he had been living out of state for some period of time in the state of Georgia, and he just didn't get this taken care of. So he has also let the court to know that he is in a training program and online schooling. So he has, his ties to the community are such. We'd ask the court to set a reasonable bond in this case. I also point out the underlying offense is simply a paraphernalia. Allegations are that he was a passenger in a car, wasn't operating a vehicle under influence or a threat to anybody, anything. If the allegation, considering that, you've said enough.
So let's break down what just happened. Christopher Bell's defense attorney is trying his best to paint his client in a positive light. He's employed, he's in a training program, he has ties to the community, and the underlying charge is just drug paraphernalia, nothing violent. The attorney is basically saying, look, this is a minor case, my client just forgot about it while he was in Georgia, let's set a reasonable bond and move on. But did you catch the judge's response? I think you said enough. That's judicial speak for, I've heard enough excuses, and I'm not buying it. The judge is about to shut this down fast. Watch what happens next.
All right. So, sir, why didn't you show up to court?
I was out of state at the time.
Okay. And what state were you in?
I was in Georgia. I got a job opportunity out there, and I actually totally forgot about this ticket. So that's the only reason I didn't show back up.
Okay. Well, you have heard of Zoom, correct, sir?
Yes.
Right. And so, this court does accommodate for individuals that are out of state.
Okay. Well, I didn't know how that really worked out.
You didn't even contact into the court. So how long have you been back in the state of Michigan?
Going on about a year now.
Okay. And so if you were to test right now, sir, what's in your system?
Nothing at all.
And how did you end up in custody today?
Actually, I got off work. I was door dashing, or I wasn't even driving though, but he ID'd me. So that's the only reason I even remembered I had something like this going on. So yeah, he ended up saying I'm here, and that's how I ended up here.
Okay. Well, it appears, sir, as though you seem to forget often that you have to appear in court because you have other warrants.
Okay, this is where Christopher Bell's excuses completely fall apart. The judge asks him point blank, "You've heard of Zoom, correct?" Because here's the thing. In today's court system, being out of state is not a valid excuse. Courts have been accommodating remote appearances for years, especially since the pandemic. Christopher could have contacted the court at any time to arrange a Zoom appearance. But he didn't. He just ghosted them. Then the judge drops another bombshell. How long have you been back in Michigan? Christopher's answer, about a year now. So let me get this straight. He's been back in Michigan for an entire year and still didn't handle this case? That's not forgetfulness. That's deliberate avoidance. And it gets worse. The judge reveals that Christopher has other warrants from other agencies. This isn't an isolated incident. This is a pattern of dodging the court system. Christopher tries to defend himself by saying he wasn't driving, and the judge sarcastically responds, "You get a plus for that." But then she hammers home the real issue. You still have to show up for court on all your cases, which you don't seem to do. The message is crystal clear. You can't just ghost the legal system and expect no consequences.
From other agencies.
No, well, for driving, that's why I wasn't driving.
What?
Yeah, for driving, but that's for driving, but I wasn't driving though.
Okay, well, that's good. You get a plus for that, but you still have to show up for court, sir, on all of your cases that you don't seem to do. So I don't really have much faith that you're going to return again because you've already failed to appear for 2 years. You were supposed to have appeared December 12th of 2023. And you did not.
No, I would have, Your Honor, if I was in Michigan. I mean, I would.
I just said you didn't have to be in Michigan. If you were out of the state before you even came to court to begin with, you could have contacted us to appear via Zoom. You didn't do that. You seem to ghost any court. You seem to ghost the number of courts that you need to appear in. The court's going to order a $3,500 10% bond based upon the defendant's previous failure to appear, as well as his additional warrants that he has in other jurisdictions. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs that are not prescribed. We'll see you back on January 21st. Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you. And we are on the record.
And that's how it ends for Christopher Bell. The judge sets a $3,500 bond at 10%, meaning Christopher has to come up with $350 to get out. Why such a high bond for a simple paraphernalia charge? 2 reasons. His previous failure to appear for 2 years, and his additional warrants in other jurisdictions. This bond is designed to ensure he actually shows up this time. The judge also orders him not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs that aren't prescribed, and he's scheduled to return on January 21st. Here's the lesson. The modern court system has adapted to technology. Zoom appearances are standard. Being out of state is no longer an excuse. And if you try to ghost the court, they will catch up with you eventually, and when they do, you'll face financial consequences and a judge who has zero patience for your excuses. Christopher Bell learned this the hard way. So what do you think? Was Christopher's excuse legitimate, or was he just trying to avoid responsibility? Do you think he'll actually show up on January 21st? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this courtroom breakdown, don't forget to like this video, share it with anyone who loves real legal drama, and subscribe for more jaw-dropping cases, judicial smackdowns, and justice served. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.